Hello! We're playing Infinite Warfare beta. I've played a few games on this Call of Duty beta. It's not a bad game. It's not a good game. If you like Call of Duty, if you like, you know, Advanced Warfare, if you like Ghosts, if you like Black Ops 3, you're gonna love this, because it's basically just more of the same shit, which is what Call of Duty is known for. Now, you can't compare this with Battlefield 1, okay? Now, this is set in the future. Battlefield 1, as I'm sure you know, is set in the past. This has wall running in it, that has planes in it. Alright, they're not the same, you can't really compare the two. The only way that you should be comparing the two is graphics, okay, not really the gameplay. Even though they're both first person shooters, Call of Duty is a twitch shooter, Battlefield is, I guess you could say, a simulation slash kind of arcade kind of twitch shooter. It's more than just a twitch shooter anyway. The reason why I say you should only compare the graphics is because, I mean, EA has the DICE engine, alright? It's known for being amazing. Call of Duty, as far as I knew, they last used basically like a modded version of the Quake engine. Obviously there's a difference in the engines, so therefore there's a difference in the graphics. But, so from what I've seen from the gameplay of the Call of Duty 4 remaster, it looks better than this. How can that be? How is that possible? But then again, I'm going to contradict myself right now and say you shouldn't really look at these graphics, purely because I played the Gears of War 4 beta not too long back, and since then I've played obviously the full release of the game, and I can tell you now that I thought the graphics and textures and everything were really good in the beta, but they improved them in the game. So that could be the case here, okay? The download's already 20 gigabytes. I'm not sure what that consists of, but I'm sure they don't want to make it too big and, you know, basically make it maybe twice the size with just textures. So you shouldn't really go off the graphics, but you should a little bit, because you've got a slight indication here. Another thing I'm going to say is, as I'm sure everyone else will agree, the marketing of this game is just bullshit. Activision know that everyone that is interested in Call of Duty or first person shooters wants to play the remastered Call of Duty 4, and the only way to get your hands on that at the moment is to order some deluxe version of this shit, which is just totally ridiculous. I'm not interested in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare at all, but I am with COD 4, so if I want to play COD 4 I've got to buy this. And the only way to access COD 4 is through the menus of Infinite Warfare. So like, if you thought of buying it and then selling Infinite Warfare, then sorry, but you're going to have to think again, because they've made it so you can't do that. You buy it, you're stuck with them both. Maybe in a year or two they'll release COD 4 individually, but then you'll probably have to pay for it again. I didn't really play much of Black Ops 3. I got to rank 55 I think, and Prestige, and to be honest, this game is just feels to me just like Black Ops 3 again, just with a slightly different skin. That isn't good. People have been saying for such a long time that Call of Duty is just the same shit again with another skin on it, and look what they've given us again, the same shit with another skin on it. To me this also feels, I'm going to say it feels like Halo 5 because of the mantling and the jetpack, but when Halo 4 came out I thought that was more like Call of Duty. So it seems to me Call of Duty and Halo are almost one in the same these days. I know we're not talking about Halo, but I think Halo's gone downhill since Halo Reach. I mean, that was kind of the tipping point for me where I was a bit hesitant. I thought it was pretty shit. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good, it's a mediocre game, it wasn't what I expected. But anyway, we're not talking about Halo. I just don't know how Infinity Ward cannot be worried about Infinite Warfare. And it's clear that they don't have much hope for this game, hence why they are bundling it with COD 4, because, I mean, everyone I've spoke to about it is just basically interested in COD 4. No one gives a shit about Infinite Warfare. And it's weird because I saw a picture the other day and it said that the target audience for Pokemon is kids, but the actual audience are like, I don't know, young adults, whatever. And the target audience for Call of Duty is adults, but the people who actually play it are just kids mainly. Everybody else who's more into, well, better games, aren't playing Call of Duty. anymore. Call of Duty's had its golden era, it's had its time to shine, they've run out of ideas, they're really going downhill. And it's obvious because of the way they're marketing the game. They know it, we know it. It's no good, it's just not good. Some of the guns that I've seen, it just looks like they've literally taken guns that we use today, tweaked it, added a few little bits on it here and there, given it some weird name, and then pretended that it's a whole new gun. That is a lack of imagination and creativity on their behalf. If anything, that is just lazy. Can you not see how little effort they've put into this? The only thing that I would be interested in is the 80s, it's called like Zombieland or whatever, the 80s theme park thing. And I don't even like zombies, so I wouldn't even play it. That just tells you how much I'm interested in the game. The campaign looks ludicrous. I read a statement from one of the developers saying how they've not taken inspiration from sci-fi or Halo or whatever, and they think they can just tell these classic war stories in any environment and setting, and that's their excuse for this. But all I can say about this is I think you should save your money, maybe wait for it to drop down in price because it's inevitable, and maybe wait a year and you might be able to pick the CoD 4 remaster up for a reasonable price, probably digitally. They probably won't put it on a disc, I don't know, but there will be a market for CoD 4 remaster. People will want to play that. It'll probably always be played. If it has dedicated servers, then I can guarantee you people will be playing it for years to come. Infinite Warfare probably last a couple years. You know, you'll always have the die-hard fans who are obsessed with it and who love it and get to 10th prestige in the first week and that, you know. You'll always have that. But the general population, from what I can tell, are just not impressed with this at all. I'm going to say it again. If you've liked the couple previous Call of Duties, then the chances are is that you're not going to be making a mistake buying this. You probably love it. But for me, nah, I'm not buying it. And Infinity Ward, you are putting such little effort into all of this. I mean, just look at the comparison. Right, Call of Duty comes out, is it every year or two? Even though they've got 3 different studios doing it. But that's a piss take in itself. They've got 3 different studios making one franchise. Alright? Battlefield takes, what, 3 or 4 years to develop? And just, even GTA takes a couple years. Probably like 5 or 6 years to make. And just look at the quality in the games. Just look at the quality and the content and everything. You can really tell which games these days have been rushed out. Assassin's Creed started to do it. That's probably why Ubisoft is like, nah, hang on, we need to switch the formula up. We need to sit back. We need to really get back to the drawing table. Because, I mean, personally, I was getting bored of Assassin's Creed. The stories had almost no flair, no, you know, nothing. I guess you could say the Ezio trilogy, which now they're making a remaster of, which is great, are the best in my eyes, as I'm sure a lot of other people will agree. So Ubisoft have realised, and now they're going to do a little something about it, I hope, which is great. Activision, no, give me your money, we want the money, money. Alright, that's all they want. They're not really interested in finely crafted pieces of art or interactive entertainment. They just want to milk it because Call of Duty is like one of the biggest franchises on the planet right now. They're just milking us, man. It's just crazy, and it ain't right, man, because people will still buy this shit. Like, it's coming out before Christmas. There's going to be people buying it for birthdays, Christmas, whatever. They're not going to suffer with the money, and they're just not. And so in turn, they know that they can just continue to do this. They know they can just continue to make this shit that no one gives a single shit about, except from all the kids that are obsessed with it. And that is literally where all their money comes from, because anyone with half a brain would realise what's going on. It's not right, okay? It needs to stop, because they're still charging full price for these games. They're still charging full price. How can you argue with me right now and tell me that, so GTA or Battlefield 1, let's just say is 40 quid. I think they were like between the prices of 40 and 45 pound when they come out, depending on who you bought them from. But that's the same with this game as well, and you cannot tell me that they consist of the same quality and content. You can't tell me that. So therefore, how can you justify spending the same amount of money on something that's got less about it? How? Yet people still do it constantly. Why? I haven't bought a brand new game for about 4 months now, because I know that these new games that are always coming out, there's a million copies of them made every 10 seconds, they hold no value whatsoever. So I know that within, let's just say 3 months again, they're going to be pretty much half price. The market is not what it used to be. It just isn't. It's overcrowded, and there's just people trying to cash out on all these games. And it's just crazy. It's got to stop. But anyway, that's all I can really say about this right now. I'm not going to bother with the full game. It's not worth it. But thanks for watching. And again, these are all personal opinions, so I'm entitled to that, and you're entitled to your own. If you want to comment, I'll be sure to read it. Thanks for watching anyway, and might see you next time. See ya!
Mission failure. Attempting to adjust battle protocols.